Hi YouTube! Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a really quick review of the new Hourglass lighting palette. This is the Lighting Edit Surreal Light. I'm sure you've seen it all over. This is their new 2016 holiday palette. It comes in this beautiful marble packaging and it retails for $80, which is quite expensive considering you don't get much product in here. I believe you get about 5 ounces, oh no, 0.04 ounces for each. So all these tiny squares are 0.04. The bigger one here I believe is 0.14 ounces. Bigger one here, sorry. So you don't get a ton of product in here, but as you know, I picked up the palette from last year. It comes in this beautiful mirrored packaging, which is quite dirty right now, but packaging wise, I definitely like the mirrored finish better. I just find that they're very classy and sophisticated, and it just looks really, really nice. Also, when you just feel it in your hands, I feel like this one feels a little bit more substantial than the marble one, although the marble one is very beautiful and it doesn't collect fingerprints. So some people might like this more, but I definitely like this packaging a little bit better. So in this video, I'm not going to go too much into value per gram or value per ounce because, as you know, I'm sure you've seen other videos, you are definitely getting gypped as far as quantity for, you know, the money that you're paying for. You are paying a lot of money for less grams and less ounces, I guess, of product. So I'm not going to go into that because this is really for people who are, you know, wanting it so much as a gift or to gift it to someone to see whether or not they're actually going to like the product itself rather than seeing if it's worth the money and things like that. I obviously feel like they are both worth my money because I like quantity, or not quantity, I like variety, I guess. So I like to be able to try a bunch of different things from Hourglass. I absolutely love the ambient lighting powders. I think if you are not a fan of the powders, like you've had the full size or you had their palette that has the 3 and you weren't a big fan of those, you don't really get why people like it so much, these palettes are not for you, I think. If you do like them and you do see the value as I do, I think the ambient lighting powders are beautiful. I think they give your face such a nice glow. It just looks so radiant without looking shimmery or weirdly glittery. I just think they're so beautiful. They really give you a nice blurring effect. So I find that they're very well worth it. I want to go over last year's palette really quickly just to give you an idea of how things have changed. All of these were existing products that they had come out with besides this one here, which is the strobing powder and iridescent light, which they eventually came out with their strobing powders. They're like highlight powders a few months after, like in the beginning of 2016. But when this palette actually came out, this was a brand new shade and it was supposed to be their highlighting powder, except they don't say that on the back. They just say it is their lighting powder in iridescent light. There was no mention of strobing. I had emailed Hourglass to say, is this the same thing as the strobing one? Because I purchased this later in 2016. I didn't buy it during that holidays sale. I bought it off of Nordstrom because they still had in stock products, I guess. So I wanted to make sure because I really wanted to try the strobing powders, and then when I saw this palette have this name with the same name, I wanted to confirm that it was a strobing powder, and it was. So that's what kind of pushed me to buy this. I already had the dim light, which is the slightly yellow one, and I absolutely love that. I have the full size of this one. And then there was 2 blushes, Mood Exposure, Luminous Flush, Bronze Light, and Diffused Light. And I know a lot of people like Diffused Light, but I find that it kind of muddies my complexion a little bit. It definitely gives you that beautiful diffused blurred effect, but I find that it kind of not darkens my complexion, but it kind of takes away some of that brightening, I guess, that I like from dim light, which is that light yellow shade. Now, my biggest gripe with this palette, even though I do absolutely love it, was the bronze light here. It was just way too warm for my skin, and I will swatch it on the back of my hand so you can see. So that was the bronze, and you can see it's just a very almost like yellowy orange undertone. I did a very heavy swatch so that you can see the undertone of that, and it just did not work well for my skin tone. I am very fair, very neutral undertones, but I think if you're very fair with even pink, it would look even worse on you. So I kind of used that more as a bronze topper instead of a full-on bronze for all over my face. It was just the wrong undertone. I ended up using that more for like my eyes, I guess, to kind of give my eyelids a little bit of definition and things like that. So I still use it all the time. So when this came out, the 2016 collection came out, I watched a lot of reviews because I wanted to see, oh my gosh, am I going to get screwed over by the bronzer again, or will this bronzer work for me? And it seemed like a lot of people were complaining that the bronzer was just way too light, and it kind of had a weird orangey gray undertone, and that actually kind of attracted me to it because obviously the 2015 one didn't work for me. So the bronzer is this one right here, and I have a little bit more marbling, I think, on this side, but you can definitely see it definitely has more of a cooler undertone, and I will swatch this for you as well right next to the 2015 one. So you can see right here, that is the new one. So definitely has a bit cooler undertone, maybe slightly pink. So I think that's where some people were thinking it was a little bit grayish, but very different. So very, very different. And now this one that bronzer is called Bronzer Surreal Bronze Light. And I actually absolutely love the 2016 palette. So I got this on the Sephora VIB sale, and I'm so in love with it. I think it just works so nicely with my skin tone. I was a little worried about the finishing powder, the Surreal Light here, because like I said, I really love my dim light, which is that really pale yellow shade, and this one just seemed like it might be a little bit too dark when I saw other people swatching. But really, I think because this shade here is so almost just like a nice beige color, it actually just works so well as a finishing powder. I think I love it as a setting powder. I still love my dim light for brightening, but this one just looks so beautiful. It works with my skin. It doesn't darken it or kind of muddy everything. It still helps me keep that radiant glow. Still brightens a little bit, not as much as dim light, but I absolutely love it. The blushes as well are beautiful. I am wearing this one here. I'm wearing actually all these three here and the finishing powder here. I didn't wear this blush here, but I have worn it before, and it is very, very beautiful. So let me show you kind of how my skin looks right now, so you can get a look at my makeup. I'll put my hair back. So I have the blush right here. So you can see it's very nice. It's not too gray, it's not too orange. You know, it just looks really, really beautiful. I have the blush right here, and I also have the highlight on as well. So I will do swatches. I will insert swatches either here, so you can see how these look. Those will be kind of heavy-handed swatches because, like I said, these ambient lighting powders are meant to be very soft and beautiful. They are pigmented, but they kind of apply in a very soft way. So to show you the colors of the blushes especially, I'm gonna do a little bit of a heavy hand, but you can see that blush that I'm wearing right now, which is the Surreal Glow blush, is what I have right now, and it's just very, very natural, and I really love this highlighter as well. I absolutely love the Hourglass highlighting powders. They're called the strobing powders. I think if you have a lot of texture in your skin, or you just don't like anything too glittery, I think these are just so wonderful. And the thing is, when you go into stores and you swatch it on your hands, they look a little glittery, but when you apply it to your face, it's just so beautiful, and it's just so natural, and I absolutely love it. I have it down the bridge of my nose, on my Cupid's bow. I just think it's beautiful. I don't know what else to say. I guess it's still on sale, $80. If you're giving it as a gift, I think people would love it. I will say the one caveat is, though, that it really is for someone with very fair to light skin. I think even someone with light to medium skin would find some of these a little bit disappointing, especially the highlighter, the finishing powder, and the bronzer. I find that, actually the finishing powder I feel like could work for them, but the bronzer especially, they might not like that, and the highlighting powder, the strobing powder, they might not like that as well. I think they would want something that's a little bit stronger so that it shows up more on their face. Me, I think it works very nicely. I am probably an NC 15-20, sometimes more on the 15 side now that it's winter. For reference, I use 12 Ivory and Marc Jacobs, 1.0 in the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation, Revlon Color Stay 150 Buff. So just kind of giving you a reference of what I think this, how this might look on you. I have pretty much all of them on my face right now except for that Surreal Effect blush, that brighter pink blush. And I think it looks really good. Definitely, if you were disappointed with the bronzer from last year's, I think you'll really, really like this one. The difference is just amazing, I think. That one just really didn't work for me, but as you can see, I feel like it works pretty well this time around, and I think it just really does give your face a beautiful, beautiful finish. Overall, do I think it's worth it? I think yes, if you like variety. I also really appreciate that everything in this palette are new shades to Hourglass. There are no repeats like last year. So I think if you love Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders, you will really like this. I believe on Hourglass website you can actually customize your own palette, so you can choose different colors and shades that you like and put it in a palette together. So I think that's really interesting. I really, really do like it. I especially like it much more than 2015. So definitely, if you're a pale princess like I am, I would definitely recommend this. So thank you so much for watching, and if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know what your favorite setting powder, if you like Hourglass, what your favorite shade is. I haven't tried every single one of them, but leave me your recommendations and I'll definitely check those out. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!